In this video, I will show you how to replace the recoil spring in the SSQ22. First things first, we will have to remove the safety, and there is a bit of screw glue, so make sure not to force it first, and second, to heat it up with some heat source. Here I have a torch. You can use a regular lighter or a heat gun. That will also work. Now there is plastic nearby, so if you want to be extra safe not to damage it, I would suggest you to take something. Aluminium foil would work pretty good, and place it like so. So you can deflect a bit of the heat away from the plastic to not melt it. I will do it without it because I don't have aluminium foil. Now if you want, use the aluminium foil. All right, let's heat it up a little bit under an angle. There we go, that should be enough. And now we can unscrew it slowly. Don't overdo it. If it's too stiff, just heat it up a bit more. We will place this aside. Careful, there is a small little spring on the inside that pushes on this ball bearing. That does the clicking. Don't lose any of those. And the other side, we do the same thing. As you can see, you should not need more than 2 fingers to really start unscrewing it. Oops, still a bit hot, be careful. And the safety is free, we can continue. All right, and now we'll be able to lift it from the housing, just like so. We can put this aside. And now we need to get to the recoil spring, which is underneath this. Here is the guide rod right there. For that, we need to remove these 2 pins that hold the trigger group. Get a proper punch and a hammer. Now, in order to punch them out, put it on something where you have space that the pin can go through. Can be a gym weight, can be 2 pieces of something. This one was easy, didn't even need to use a hammer, but I know that before when I did this, I needed to use a hammer. Here, maybe a bit. There we go. And now it's out. All right, here we have the trigger group, nothing too crazy. And now we can remove the bolt. Now pull back and lift it up. You will end up with the bolt in your hand, and this is now free. We'll get the recoil spring out, just like so, and we replace it with this one. So first, charging handle goes in. I will compress the spring to guide it in there. And now I just need to place it right there. Test if it all works. All good. And now we can put not the trigger group, but the bolt. We will pull the charging handle back like so, and we just drop this back in. It has to click into the charging handle, so the charging handle is firmly locked with the bolt, and now we just let it go forward. All right, now the trigger group goes back in place. 2 pins go back. Like so. This one was easy. We make sure that if it doesn't want to go in, it's properly aligned. We try to wiggle. It is in fact properly aligned, so I will just tap it in place. Now just before we put it back, We verify the function, all seems good, and back it goes into the body, like so. Big screw on the bottom. Big pin right here. Actually, loosen the screw or just don't put it there in the first place. We first need to make sure the pin goes in easily, and now we can lock it with the screw properly. All right, there we go, pin is there. And the last thing is to put on the safety. The ball bearing with the spring was on this side, so we will keep it exactly the same. So we first take this one where you have the slot, where it's protruding out, and that one will go to this side because here we have a slot. Center it, support it with your finger from the bottom, and we just pop it back in, like so. We get the correct bit. Is this the correct one? Yes. And we just screw it in. Just like that. Don't over tighten it, it's not necessary. Now I'm gonna support it with my finger again. I will put the ball bearing here in this one because now the safety is facing down. We need to put this spring back in place. And now we just place it on. Screw goes in. And we just screw it back in place. All right, and now we are done with the replacement. No fire on safe, so everything is just as it should be. All right, there you have it. That's how it's done.